The rules are simple. Select a random champion, choose masteries, runes and spells that match and start up a game against 5 random AI controlled bots. Then the fun begins. Start a lane and farm as usual, trying to win the game against the 5 opponents before they beat you. The results are then posted in a league. 3 points for a win by destructing every enemy structure, 2 points for a win in any other way, and 0 points for a loss. The winner is then decided from a pool of 3-point champs with the lowest winning time crowned the winner. This is the 1v5 challenge. Hello and a very warm welcome indeed to this newest League of Legends 1 vs 5 challenge. As you can see this week we've done the random button and it's turned up with Corki. The skin we're going to use is Earthrider Corki. We're going to use the full ADC runes and masteries as well as teleport to help us get to that lane a little bit quicker, and ignite just to secure those last few health points and get as many kills as we can early on in the game. The bots we are up against shall show up now. We have Vlad, Blitzcrank, Leona, Fiddlesticks and Dr. Mundo. And you can see here, early game, we're going to get paired up in that middle lane against Leona. The first item we have is the longsword to do that damage. Remember, we have got lifesteal runes, there's 7% there, so there's no real need for that Doran's blade. So we're trying to get those last hits. We've got 3 minion kills so far, not too bad, 2 minutes in. I'm just trying to get those first few hits away on that tower, as well as getting Leona as low as possible to keep her away from our minions, enabling us to push the tower as far as we can, because remember, it's a 1v5 challenge, so we have to try and push at the same speed on our tower as the 2 bots do at top lane and bottom lane. If we can get our tower down before theirs, we are ahead. If not, we've got to try and get it down as close as possible. The nearest we have got to a defeat with tower destruction is through having a Graves in bot lane, which managed to get the tower down in about 6 minutes. It's one of the champions that can get a tower down quickly, along with the likes of Ziggs with the passive, and Kog'Maw and the other ADCs with their attack speed. Graves with the shotgun passive helping their tower, but no Graves in this game. Just a few tanks to get past. The Leona jumps straight to us and stuns straight away. We can use our W to escape and then our E to put down a little bit of damage. It's not going to be enough to get that kill. However, that should be a tactic we employ further through the game, as Leona and the other tanks get a lot tankier and stronger. We can use our W to escape. Leona's going to come straight towards us, use her Q to stun us. Then we're going to use our E and ignite together. Is there enough damage there? There's the first blood. There's 400 gold. And it's 1-0 within 3.5 minutes in this 1v5 challenge with Corki. Looking good so far. Back with Corki now, about 5 minutes into the game again, putting some damage down on Leona, using that E to grind away at her health. Getting through that extra armour she has from her shield. Remember, when you're under 5 minutes, the turrets have got that passive, which means you only do 50% damage, which is causing a few problems at the moment, but we're coming up to the 5-minute mark. Leona is back at the base now, after being hit down to low health. And we're just trying to clear these minions out the way to enable a few more tower hits as we go over that 5-minute mark. Hopefully that will allow us to put down a little bit more damage now, if we can push these minions back. Top and bottom lanes pressurising on those towers as expected. 5 minutes in though, it's not going to cause us too many problems. However, what may cause us a problem is our lack of mana. We can use our basic attacks without mana, and that's what we'll do to keep Leona at bay as we put some more damage down. Remember, with Corki, those auto attacks are split between attack damage and ability power. But the mana once more is low. We're going to place a ward down and start to recall back to base. Hopefully Leona will not disturb us, and she doesn't. An early recall there, back to do a bit of shopping, and a teleport back to mid lane earlier than we would usually take for this 1v5 challenge, but needed for the mana. Starting to build an Essence Reaver first. We use the W to get closer to Leona. 1 hit away, there's the rocket, there's the kill. 300 gold, 2-0. And we'll use that chance to get a bit of damage down onto that tower. Leona's going to come back, starting to get a bit tankier now as we get towards the 10 minutes. Going to use our W to get away, going to put a bit of magic damage down. There's the rocket, there's the ignite, there's the kill. And the killing spree, 3-0. Just over 7 minutes gone. Can we get this tower down there? Once again, mana is looking low. All of the abilities burned to kill that Leona there. And the E on the minions. Just under half health to dismantle now. And the minions are going to try and defend that tower. Are they going to be able to? It seems they are for now. There's the E to get rid of this wave. And hopefully that should be enough to destroy this first tower. And just under 8 minutes in, there's the first tower down. Just the BF sword, the long sword, built so far on our journey to building that Essence Reaver. Leona's going to come back and stun us with the Q. We have no mana to escape with our W, though. The tower gets a hit on us. Still waiting for that W damage. Leona uses her ult, doing lots of damage to us now. There's the W to get away. Leona is going to try and use her basic attacks. It's not enough though. And the rocket finishes off the kill. Team fight reversed there. Although without a team, of course. With just the 1 versus the 5. Bottom lane turret has gone down. Fiddlesticks at bot lane helping to destroy that first turret. However, we have got our middle lane tower down already, so not too much of a worry there. The worry will be if they get that second one down and start to crowd and push through. Hopefully one of them will come to mid lane though, which should give our bottom lane minions a little bit of a rest. Leona's back as we try and get that tower down. She gets a good E there on us, but the Gatling gun can return a lot of damage very quickly. The minions trying to defend Leona, but we're going to use those minions ourselves to get a little bit of life back. Ready for the next inevitable fight. Doing a bit more damage to that tower. Under half health now. 9.5 minutes gone. If we can get this down fairly quickly, it should be a nice easy win for Corki, but we shall see. Bottom lane has something to say about that as they continue now to push as 2 onto that tower. No one helping Leona in the middle as of yet, but that should change very soon if this tower goes down. And with 1 hit left, that is the end of the second turret. Not hanging around, we'll go straight onto that inhibitor turret, but Mundo is the one from top lane who is going to try and defend. He is using his abilities. We have no mana to escape here, and he's starting to burn away at us. He's going to use his ult, but we're going to do a bit of damage, and with the help of the minions we can push him back to the base and use the recall to go back and do a little bit of shopping. Now hopefully we should have enough to buy the Essence Reaver, which we do. And looking for the next item, we're going to go for the critical strike chance ahead of that attack damage to start with. We're going to use the package, go straight down to bot lane, where Vlad is trying to continue to push on our minions. In the middle though, there are 3 enemy champions. We're going to teleport in with the package. What can we do? We're going to use it. No, we're not going to use it. Terrified by Fiddlestick, stunned by Leona. There goes the package, and they're going to follow us on that route. Going to do lots of damage here. Leona going to try and use her ult. It's not enough. There goes the Mundo. There goes Leona, surely. And there's the triple kill. Using the package in combination with the W is enough to get down those champions. Leona, Fiddlesticks, and Mundo. And now just on about half health. 12 minutes gone against this tower. Can we get it down before the respawn, or will the bots come back to defend their inhibitor turret? Neither. The minions are out. And the next wave coming fairly quickly, but Fiddlesticks has come to defend. There goes the E. Vlad's coming from the bottom lane. Going to use the rocket against Fiddlesticks. There's the Terrify. Vlad's going to use some of his abilities. There's the rocket again, then it's the Q. There's Fiddlesticks down, there's Vlad down, double kill. And for the first time we're going to see Blitzcrank in this middle lane. And he's going to see our rockets as we fly off. Use the E to damage, then the rocket. Leona's going to jump towards us, there's the Q. And basic attacks now, and rocket against that Leona. Rocket is taken by the minion, but the second one after the W is not. It's the slow. And the Gatling gun on the Mundo. And there's the double. Blitz, Leona, Mundo. All down now. Is that enough to push on this middle lane? Let's see. Can we push any further? But Fiddlesticks is back. Use our Gatling gun on him and the rocket, and it's a fairly easy kill. There's legendary 14-0, about 13.5 minutes in. Remember, the rules are simple for this game mode. We get 3 points for a victory. However, with that victory we must destroy all of the enemy structures, and if we don't, be it because of super minion destruction or just having to push through quickly with a weak champ, that means we only get the 2 points. Corki has got that mobility and the damage, so you would expect this is going to be a 3-point game if nothing goes wrong. The only thing that could go wrong with this game is the fact that they have a lot of tanky champions. As we've seen in LoL over the past few months and years, the tanks really have got a huge advantage when it comes to late game. But hopefully, being bots, they won't be able to group together as well and do as much damage. We're going to push bot lane here and try and get this tower down as the enemy champions go for mid all together. Can we get this tower down? And they're going to do the same. All 5 there in middle lane. Decided to go back though with the lack of minion support. We've destroyed their tower. Let's see if we can push even further. Teleport is up soon, but it looks like our tower will be down before we get it. Let's see if we can trade though. Getting this bottom turret down fairly quickly now. So we're going to do a bit of damage to those lane minions. Dr. Mundo has come to help them out. Can he do anything about this tower though? Getting some more hits on that turret, and there it goes down. We're going to use a Gatling gun on Mundo, then the W to do some magic damage over time. And it's an easy kill in the end without his support. I'm going to teleport towards that middle lane tower, but it's destroyed and the teleport is lost. Teleport is lost. Tower is down before we manage to get there to defend. Fiddlesticks is going to come from that middle lane and try to kill. So is Leona. She's going to jump stunners. Fiddlesticks is going to get away. And there's the ult by Leona. 2 stunners. Notice there the damage done by those champs with that extra tankiness, enabling a bit more to be done on us. Let's try and push these minions now as Mundo comes down from the base. There's the rocket down, there's the Q. Again, this is a heavy mana champion. We're going to get some basic attacks though, and with the Essence Reaver passive we get a bit of that mana back. We're not going to bite off more than we can chew though, and we're going to go straight back to that base. And the item we're going to pick up next looks like it's going to be that Infinity Edge. So we regain health, ready to go back into the fight. The package is picked up, and it looks like we're going to go back towards the middle lane against Vladimir and Blitzcrank. What can we do to defend this tower? And he used the package to get straight across them. Does a bit of damage to Vlad. Blitz can't grab us in. Vlad's already down though. The package is just too much. And there is the double rocket, which secures the double kill. And that double kill means we can push on these top towers. First one is destroyed, and the second one we're going to meet Dr. Mundo, who's going to try and do a little bit of damage. There's not much you can do though, as we get those basic attacks now starting to crit more often. and doing much more than he can do to us. There's the hits on that top tower as we slowly push in towards those inhibitor turrets. Can we get any hits down? There's the crits on the minions, getting back some of our mana. And the Essence Reaver is showing, as it usually does in current builds, its value is high. What can we do here? We're going to go into that middle lane and try and come from the other side of the map to get rid of these champs pushing our middle lane. They're going ahead. Still, we have those level 1 boots, so we can't catch them too quickly. There's the Gatling gun. The minions are clear. The tower's going to focus them now. There's the missile, and the second missile, and the basic attack. Double kill. 21-0. Almost 20 minutes gone now. As we try and push on this middle tower though, the Fiddlesticks and Mundo are going to try and slow us down. Got the Terrify from Fiddlesticks causing a few problems, but we can still get him with those rockets. Now the Mundo is going to try and do a bit of damage on us. He manages to do that. We do manage to secure the double, just under 200 health there in the end. Causing a little bit of problems with that Terrify. And getting us to quite a low state of HP. Blitzcrank is going to try and grab us. He can't manage to do that. We're going to try and kite them now. There's the rocket onto Vlad. There's the Q onto Vlad. He's going to ult us though. And it's going to do a little bit of damage. Not enough to worry us. And one rocket will be enough. Now there is the kill. Legendary 24-0. Can we get this middle tower down? Let's see. Clearing those minions. Still with that 7% lifesteal from the runes. Surely we'll need to top that up soon. Fiddle is chasing us now with support from the Mundo and the Blitzcrank. And there is the slow from the Mundo. We can join in with that game though with our W. Blitzcrank is going to pull us in. There's the stun, there's the cleaver. Gonna ult him. Can we get back away? There's the silence. Gonna go straight through the minions. Try and give us some defense. Here's the Fiddlesticks coming down. There's the legendary. There's the kill. Here's Blitzcrank. He's going to have to use his shield, but it's not going to be enough. There's the double kill. A slight worry there, but no need to worry. Corki strong enough to turn and burn on those two champions. And as they start to push through middle lane, we have the package, and at that same time, the opportunity to get in behind those two enemy champions. We're going to run away. Vlad and Blitz are both going to go straight through that magic damage. And then they do it twice with the extra W at the end of that. There's the easy double kill, which means we can get this middle tower. Fiddlesticks is going to come and try and defend it. He's too late. And we do too much damage. Can we get to that top lane to push now? It seems we can, but we're going to meet that blitz on the way, and it should be a pretty easy kill. We can tower dive and get that double. Fiddle's going to come once more to try and defend that tower. He's going to use the Terrify. That's not going to be enough. There's the triple kill. And Vlad and Leona are coming as well, doing some damage to Vlad. There's the Quadra. Leona's going to jump straight towards me. And surely here is the pentakill. There it is. And 36 kills now with just over 25 minutes gone. Can we clear these minions out the way to push through even further on the inhibitors? Yes, we can. Here we go on this first inhibitor at that top lane. Vlad's going to try and defend it. He can't do that though. We're going to get some damage down on him, and as Leona arrives as well, she is surely not going to be around for much longer. There's the auto attacks, there's the double kill. And we're going to go here, place a ward down for the recall to finalise our build and finish off the game. The final item is going to be a tricky one to decide, with the option of the Gwynzo's Rageblade. as well as some lifesteal items such as Blade of the Ruined King or Bloodthirster. At this stage during the game, it's going to be the Rage Blade, getting that extra ability power for Corki. Going to wait here at the base for the package, and we get that. I'm going to teleport straight in at the top lane, as Fiddle is going to try and defend this last tower. Is he going to be able to do it? Not at the moment, but he is causing problems with his Terrify. But 2 basic attacks, and that problem is dissolved. 27 minutes in, we can go straight to this tower, getting rid of these first few minion waves. And here goes this turret. And there is the W to do some damage to Leona. Basic attacks just burning away her health. And now it is just the 3 inhibitors in the middle. Use the W to do damage over time. There's the double, there's the triple. There is the 45th kill of this 1v5 challenge. Vlad's going to come up as well, but he's going to give away the quadra kill. And the ace. Here comes Fiddlesticks. Is it going to be a second penta? There's the Terrify. There is the Zhonya's Hourglass, and there is the Q to finish off the second pentakill of the game. Inhibitor goes down. 1 more remaining. Surely now this is just a matter of time as the 3rd and final inhibitor goes down. The minions are cleared out of the way, and damage is done on the tower, which is then focusing on us. And Leona comes back as the last line of defense for the bots. We can use basic attacks though and just pulverize Leona, sending her back to the base. Here come the 2 tankier champs though, with the Mundo and the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is no problem at all. Mundo has used his ult. It's not good enough. There's the double kill, and Vlad now is coming in. There is the triple kill. Here is Fiddlesticks. There is the quadra kill, and the delay on the Leona prevents the penta. There goes the final tower. Here goes the enemy Nexus, and there is the victory. Corki, victory, 3 points.